Have you ever found yourself playing a movie only to have that annoying credits roll pop up at the most inopportune moment? Picture a cloud, but for managing access on this digital platform we call Microsoft Azure. There's a process in place, a guardian of sorts that maneuvers access in a way to keep your cloud secure. This guardian is called privileged identity management, and trust me, it's more of a cinematic experience and less of a barrier. PIM in the realm of Microsoft Azure is primarily aimed around the management of privileged identities. That's access to privileged accounts like administrators and service accounts, which hold significant clout over sensitive resources within your Azure environment. You ask the right IT guru to manage such sensitive accounts. That's a wise move. Without control and appropriate permission grants in place, these accounts can become the Achilles heel of your Azure fort, exposing it to potential threats. Now, don't get freaked out. PIM in Azure sets the stage to keep things under control by enabling you to configure who has privileged access, when they have access, and for how long. Essentially, instead of leaving these valuable resources open to the unpredictable, PIM gives you a proactive control of privileged access. And it's easy peasy to do, really. As an IT pro, getting to know what PIM is, and more importantly, understanding its architecture within Azure Active Directory, is your ticket to the cloud. With Azure's PIM, you get to understand how Azure and Azure Active Directory's privileged identity management works together to streamline accounting, auditing, and risk management. But let's step into real life to see how this unfolds. Suppose Jane, an IT manager, wants to set up PIM for her company's Azure setup. To configure PIM, she would start by linking Azure AD accounts to Azure AD PIM. Once the accounts are linked, she can then define access control policies. Now, think of these policies in terms of access to privileged resources, say, a particular VM, database, or SaaS application. She gets to decide when accounts can gain privileged access and for how long this access lasts. The moment Jane is done with this setup, she can enjoy the peace of mind knowing her team member, let's say John, won't have unchecked privileges to her sensitive resources. Now, isn't this better than watching credits roll? However, what if something goes wrong? PIM has got that covered. Azure AD PIM equips you with detailed auditing trails. It's like an always-on CCTV, but for access control. So, if Mary attempted to access privileged tasks while off duty, Azure AD PIM immediately flags this unusual activity. And hey, there's no need to panic, because Azure AD PIM also provides troubleshooting capabilities. If Joe's account gets lost, you will find it and get it back where it belongs. So, nothing slips through the cracks, you see. But PIM isn't just a one-size-fits-all kind of service. It's tailored to the scale and complexity of your enterprise settings. A one-size-fits-all scenario doesn't cut it with Azure AD PIM. Enterprise environments where thousands of users access privileged resources, for example, have their own flavors of PIM with automated account rotation, just to name one. So as your IT needs grow, Azure AD PIM also grows and evolves right alongside. Before we wrap this up, remember, implementing Azure AD PIM doesn't have to be a hard.